Okay. So this is our evaluation question 4, which is how did you use media technologies in the research and planning, construction and evaluation stages?
The first one that we chose was Google to search music videos and genres for research. We thought that was a good range of information, and it supplied us with a lot of research that we could look in to choose our actual genre. But a disadvantage of Google was that it relied on the internet, and at one point we lost the internet, so we were at a disadvantage there.
Yeah. Another one that we used a lot was YouTube, obviously, because this is a music video project. We needed to look at a lot of other music videos from artists and other students as well to get the research that we needed and to see what ideas we could come up with. And the pros for YouTube were that there is a lot of material and resources on it for us to use. Like lots of other students have uploaded their work, their media work, and there's obviously like Vivo videos and that stuff. But cons would be that at points it was really unreliable, and also a lot of the time the adverts really time consuming. Like some of them are like 30-second songs and you can't skip them, which is a pain when you're on a time schedule. And a lot of the time students' work that they've uploaded might not be 100% accurate with grading, so they might say that they've got an A when they didn't.
Right. Another one that we did was Moodle, where we looked into exemplar blogs, which our teacher had given us to look at. This was really useful in the research stage. It made us understand what we actually needed to do in black and white right in front of us. It also showed us some examples of how we can do it as well. So this is where we got our Pinterest idea from. We also got ideas about our digipack and also our poster, which we used in the magazine advert. The cons are that it also relied on the internet again, which put us at a disadvantage when we lost it. And also, when we were on Moodle and we found blog links, some of the files were corrupt, so we couldn't open them on Mac when we were at home on a Microsoft laptop, which wasn't a Mac or something like that.
Ooh. We had to look at artists' websites and their digipacks and magazine adverts and things like that to get a general gist of what we wanted to do with ours. And considering Ed Sheeran is like indie pop rock, which is the same genre that we wanted to focus on, obviously considering we've done him, that was obviously relevant information that we needed to look at. So we looked at iTunes as well, just to look at his album art, which was great. They're both reliable sources with a lot of relevant information. But cons would be, especially when it comes to iTunes, looking at album covers and digipacks and stuff, a lot of the time you can only see the front cover and you can't see the back or the inside pages. So that was where it fell down a little bit there.
We also looked at magazines for research. We thought this would be useful because it chooses a lot of genres. We also chose magazines which covered genres. We looked into rock. We looked into ones like Kerrang. We also looked into other music genres like pop. We looked into websites as well, just like Nick said. We felt like they supplied a lot of information about artists and upcoming genres, events. So it talked about subcultures of people, what they're into, what music videos they liked, and sort of like the interests of them, which really helped with our music video. A lot of advertisements there were in them, which was a disadvantage because they're quite useless to us. Some information wasn't relevant to us either, so it talked about gossip of the celebrities and stuff, which we didn't really need to know. So that's about that with the magazines. They were helpful overall.
Another website we used when it came to research and planning was Tumblr. Brittany used it more than I did, but I still used it at points. And good points would be about Tumblr is that it's very easily accessible because they have an app, so you can download that on your phone and then you can work literally anywhere. So there's that, which is really good. If you wanted to make diary entries throughout the day, then it's really simple. You don't have to be on a computer, so you don't have to have one accessible to you. Yeah, so that's fine. Bad points, however, would be that there is some questionable content on it. So you might come across some dodgy things, just odd bits, which we have experienced. Yeah, also you need the internet to make posts a lot of the time. So if you're out and about and you don't have 3G or Wi-Fi, then it's a lot more difficult to document things, just if you needed to, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, that's it.
Other digital devices that we used would be the camera, which we filmed the actual footage on. We used a Panasonic NVG S75 Pro. We thought it was easy to use, and we thought that it would be a good camera for a beginner to use, which is pretty much what we are. It's easy to understand, all the buttons are clear with icons and logos, and we also found that the quality that we recorded was actually really high quality. Although some cons that we felt, we lost some footage on our travels. We lost some footage with the memory. It went missing, so there's a downfall, as we thought that the bits that went missing really added to the music video, but we couldn't go back and do them again. Another downfall is we had trouble connecting the video camera to updated Macs, so we had to go and find a technician to find us a lead which will match, and it was really hard to find, so because it's quite rare and because the camera was old, it was difficult to find.
Another addition to the camera is that we obviously had to use a tripod so that we could keep the camera steady on whatever ground we were on. And the good thing about tripod is that the ones we were using retract, and they actually go really small, and they go from really big to really small, which is great because you can just carry them around in your bag or whatever. So when you're filming out and about, it's ideal, so you don't have to lug it around all the time. But a downfall would be that it is quite fiddly a lot of the time, and it's a little bit fragile, so it's not always stable, and sometimes you get shakes and bumps and things that you have to go back over.
Another website or program that we used was Microsoft Word when we were creating mind maps and making lists of planning what we needed to do. This one's quite short. It was really advanced technology, so it achieved quite a lot because we could do anything that we wanted to. We could make posters, we could make mind maps. It achieved quite a lot. Some of the cons though was it's prone to freezing, and it's very slow with some information that we want to put in. So if you've got too much going on a Mac or a computer, then it will be quite slow, which in a time frame and a time management wasn't very helpful.
Our main program that we use obviously is Final Cut Pro, which is pretty much the biggest part of media technology that we used, considering we had to edit all on it. So good things that we noticed about it is that it has very professional effects, and it has a lot of options, so you can really do whatever you want with it. There's a lot of things you can do, sky's the limit. Yeah, so that's really good, because compared to like iMovie and such, people find that it's not as professional, and there's sort of a limit to what you can do with it. We do personally, anyway. Another massive positive is that our work saves as you go along. So say if, for instance, the application crashed on you, it wouldn't be the end of the world because your stuff would be saved, so you don't have to go back and do it again, which is great, because a lot of the time if you exit without saving on other programs, then it's obviously very frustrating. Well, you don't have that problem with Final Cut Pro. Yeah, so losing work's not an issue there. So the fact that it saves automatically saved us in a lot of aspects there. Other good things about it would be that it's really simple to use if you know the basics. So if you roughly are okay on computers and you enjoy them, then I would say the application is really easy to use. Altogether, that is a good foundation of knowledge to build on.
We also used Prezi when creating mind maps and exploring questions for our evaluation. We used it because it looks professional and you can access it on any computer, and it's easy to share with other programs and websites. It is difficult for other people to use though when they haven't had any experience of making presentations. etc., etc.
Another program that we used was Pixlr, which was suggested to us by our teacher. Basically a more accessible version of Photoshop, and it looks professional when it's done right. So if you know how to use Photoshop and you know what you're doing, then you can probably use Pixlr to a good standard and make it look legit. It has good quality work, like different stamps and brushes and stuff, which comes in handy when you are going for a certain effect, which we were. We used the crushed paper effect, and it looked pretty good in the outcome. Problems with it is that it can be complicated for people that don't know how to use Photoshop, because it's a little bit complicated anyway. Also, on slower computers, it crashes and you lose all your work, like I did at home. Okay, so that's our valuation question 4. Cheers for watching.
Right.
Wait. Bye.